one thing that we saw with lots of the funds throughout the pandemic is that they were distributed on a first come, first serve basis. And sometimes the first to come is not the one that needs it the most, is the one that's most prepared to ask for that help. Is there a way to rethink the way in which this money reaches small businesses and those who actually need it the most?
Right. No, you're dead on too. First come, first serve was a stupid idea. You know, they should have been able to take all the applications in, study them, and the people that already had the connections at the banks, we saw that. They had the connections. They're the ones that got the money. And, you know, the people that didn't have the connections that were trying to, you know, bootstrap it, you know, not take a lot of loans, not owe a lot of money and, you know, not get leveraged. And all my business life, you know, I watched my dad go bankrupt because he owed too much money. So all my business life, I've tried not to borrow as much money as little as I could, because I know that when I borrow, I'm at risk and for a catastrophe. So I think it wasn't handled right. Let us check and get back to you about what's out there in that area. That's going to be in the small business committee area, and we'll look at the appropriations in that area. You know, I mentioned about the procurement piece from 5 to 11% to set aside for small businesses there, disadvantaged businesses. But I don't really. That's not my area that I'm directly on day to day. So let me have my staff, and we'll get back to you with some ideas that might be out there, and what the president's trying to do. Because one thing we're trying to do is get more folks to have equity, and many of our minority businesses and minorities themselves don't have equity, and that's why we have the wealth gap. And equity starts with owning your own business, and then owning your own home. And that's how people build equity. And that's been a problem long term in our minority business and minority communities.